Welcome, listeners, to the Deep Dive. Today, we're cutting straight to the chase, diving headfirst into the numbers game. No waffle, no fluff, just pure statistical insight. We want to help you see the upcoming football fixtures from, a whole new angle.
Exactly.
Talking about the raw data, those subtle patterns, the trends that often show what's going to happen way before the final whistle.
Yeah, absolutely. Our mission here really is to unpack the stats behind key matches.
Yeah.
We're not just trying to pick a winner, though, we might touch on probabilities where the numbers point.
Right.
But crucially, it's about identifying what we call neutral angles.
Okay.
Think of it like this. Scenarios where the statistical tendencies of both teams, they actually work together, they converge, suggesting predictable outcomes for you, the listener. It's about finding those shared patterns, not just one team's strength.
That's a really key point, isn't it? And it makes this approach so useful. It's basically a shortcut to being genuinely informed about what's really going on underneath the surface in these games. We're filtering out the noise, the pundit opinions, all that narrative stuff to bring you the signal, the important bits of info that tell the statistical story. So, let's get into it. The Premier Showdown, U21 European Championship Final. Right, we kick things off with the big one. The U21 European Championship Final, June 30th, 2025. It's in Bucharest.
Oh.
And it is a massive clash. England U21 versus Germany U21. Now, this isn't just any final. It's a rematch. Germany edged England 2-1 in the group stage.
That's right.
That history, that result, it just adds this really interesting psychological angle to the whole thing, doesn't it? You can almost feel that tension already.
Oh, definitely. And what's fascinating is how they both got here. Their journeys have been quite different, and that shapes their stats right now.
How so?
Well, England's campaign, it started a bit uncertainly. Mixed results in the group stage, 1 win, 1 draw, 1 loss. Not exactly dominant.
Right, not flying out the blocks.
Not at all.
Yeah.
But since then, they've properly roared into life.
Yeah.
Found their rhythm just at the right time for knockout football. We saw them, pretty much dismantle Spain 3-1 in the quarters.
Yeah.
That wasn't just a win, it was a real statement.
Yeah, I remember that.
Showed their attack, their defense against a good side. Then a tight but, deserved 2-1 semifinal win over the Netherlands. Showed resilience there.
So they're peaking.
Exactly. They are peaking. Defensively, they've generally been remarkably solid too, which is key for these angles we're looking for. They've only conceded more than once in their last 11 U21 Euro games. And guess who that was against?
Let me guess. Germany.
Germany, in the group stage. So that specific stat is, it's pretty relevant, isn't it? Suggests maybe a vulnerability there or just a blip, perhaps.
Interesting.
Historically, though, they beat Germany in the 2 head-to-heads before this tournament, including the 2023 Euros Final. So there's history on both sides.
And offensively, you have to talk about Harvey Elliott.
Oh, absolutely.
He's been, sensational. 4 goals so far.
4 goals, yeah. And crucial ones, too. Key strikes in both knockout rounds. He delivers under pressure.
He's definitely their main threat, the guy who can unlock things. Germany will be watching him very closely.
No doubt. Now, on the other side, Germany. Their form is just, sensational is the word. They are unbeaten in 20 matches.
20
matches.
Yeah.
17 wins, 3 draws. Since they lost to England, ironically, at the 2023 Euros.
Wow.
Antonio De Salvo's team has just bulldozed their way here. Put 3 unanswered goals past France in the semis. That showed their attacking depth, their cohesion.
Ruthless.
Pretty much. Italy did push them to extra time in the quarters. Credit to Italy. But mostly, it's been plain sailing for this incredible, well-oiled German machine.
And they score goals.
Consistently. 2 or more goals in all 5 matches on the way to the final. That's relentless offensive output. And they're chasing history, too. A 4th title in 5 tournaments. They won in 09, 17, 21. Their pedigree is just unmatched at this level.
Okay, and here's where it gets really interesting for Germany, doesn't it? Nick Woltemade.
Ah, yes. The key man.
Leads the tournament scoring charts. 6 goals. And get this, he missed the group game against England.
That's right. He didn't play in that 2-1 loss.
But since he's come back in, he's scored in every single match he's played.
Every single one. 100% strike rate when he's on the pitch in this tournament.
You just know he'll be desperate to keep that going. His presence totally changes Germany's attack from England's perspective.
It really does. So, looking at all these patterns, these strong stats, this raises the big question for us. In terms of those neutral angles, where do these trends meet?
Right. So what does all this data actually tell us? Where are the statistical angles, the unbiased viewpoints on how this final might play out?
Okay, based on well, pretty compelling evidence from both sides, we see three really strong neutral angles. Where the tendencies of both England and Germany line up.
Let's hear them.
First up, over 2.5 goals. Germany, like we said, average way over 2 goals a game. Their attack is potent, constant pressure. And England, their recent games have been open too. 6 of their last 7 have gone over 2.5 goals. That's not a fluke. It's a clear pattern.
Okay, so both teams involved in high-scoring games.
Exactly. Then you add in the goal scorers. Volt made for Germany, Elliott for England, both flying, both carrying their team's attack. It just screams goals, doesn't it? High-scoring game seems very likely.
Makes sense. What's next?
Second, a strong case for both teams to score. BTTS.
Right.
Both teams are just packed with attacking talent. It's not just 1 or 2 players. England has scored in every single game this tournament. Every one.
Consistent.
Very. Their confidence is high. And Germany's defense, while it's good, hasn't really faced an attack like England's with their current momentum and Elliott in this form. Plus, Germany with Wold made back, they'll create chances, almost certainly score.
Yeah.
And England, in a final, point to prove, peaking, they'll push forward, they'll find the net. So, yeah, BTTS looks very solid.
Okay, over 2.5 in BTTS. What's the third angle?
The third one is a goal before halftime.
Early action.
Looks like it. The tempo in both teams' knockout games has been high right from the start. They want to seize control. England, especially, seem to make a habit of scoring early. Elliott's got 2 first-half goals in the knockouts. Sets the tone.
Right. Puts the pressure on.
Exactly. And Germany. They've scored before halftime in 4 of their 5 matches here. So both sides are ready to go from the whistle, start aggressively, expect sparks early, high chance of a goal before the break.
Okay, so when you put those 3 together, over 2.5, both teams to score, goal before halftime, it paints a pretty clear picture.
It does.
All signs point towards a classic final. Action-packed. The prediction, based purely on these numbers, leans towards something like a thrilling 2-2 draw.
Potentially.
With Germany maybe nicking it on penalties. So expect drama, expect goals, and quite possibly extra time and spot kicks. It feels like it's got all the ingredients.
Absolutely. A final worthy of the name, and the stats suggest it'll live up to it. 2, rapid fire. Statistical angles across European leagues.
Okay. Having looked deep into that U21 final, let's broaden out. Let's hit some other key statistical insights from around Europe. Still focusing hard on those neutral angles where both teams' stats meet. We're going to move quick, but the insights are deep.
Sounds good. Let's start in Finland's Veikkausliiga. Often throws up some interesting late-game stats.
Okay, Finland it is.
First up, Haka, 9th versus Ilves, 4th. Now, Haka, the numbers show both teams to score in all their matches against top 7 teams.
All of them. Wow.
Yep, suggests open games against better sides. Plus, only 1 clean sheet recently. Ilves, meanwhile, defensively stronger, 4 clean sheets in their last 5. But interestingly, 69% of their goals come in the second half.
Ah, late scorers.
Exactly. So the neutral angles. Strong potential for second half scoring from both, and specifically both teams to score in Haka's games against these top teams. Looks like it ignites after halftime.
Gotcha. Next.
KTP, 11th versus Jaro, 10th. KDP struggling at home, no wins in 6. But again, 69% of their goals come in the second half.
Another late show team.
Seems like it. And Jaro, very similar. 4 of their last 5 goals scored in the second half, too.
Okay, that's pretty clear then.
Yeah, a very congruent neutral angle here. Second half goals from both sides. Expect the action after the break.
Right. And one more from Finland.
Yep. AC Oulu, 12th versus VPS, 6th. Oulu has seen BTTS in all but 1 game against teams 5th or lower. Very open, 80%, over 2.5 goals at home. And guess what? 79% of goals in the second half.
Sensing a theme in Finland.
Huh. Seems so. VPS are strong away scorers, scored in all away games, at least 2 goals 4 times. Their last head-to-head was 4-3.
Goodness.
So the neutral angles, high chance of second half goals again, and potential for over 2.5 goals possibly leaking into over 3.5, especially for the away side VPS. Prime for goals, especially late ones.
Okay, Finland, late goals. Noted. Let's jump over to Ireland, Division 1. What have we got?
Just one here. Longford 8th versus UC Dublin 6th. Key stat for Longford. 9 of their last 12 goals scored in the second half. Yep. Strong indicator of late action. UCD are on a good away winning run. So the clear neutral angle, again, points very strongly to second half goals. Game likely decided after the break.
Okay, Ireland following the Finnish trend, it seems. Where to next?
Let's head north to the OBOS-ligaen in Norway. Usually gives us some interesting patterns.
All right, Norway.
First, Hod, 12th versus Mjøndalen. Hod. BTTS in 6 of their last 7. Scoring well, 2+ goals in their last 3, and high goal totals before halftime recently.
A change. Early goals.
Potentially. Majonglan also has BTTS in their last 4, and they too have had high goal totals before halftime.
Okay, so they both start fast.
Looks like it. The neutral angles are pretty striking. Both are strong first-half goal scorers, and BTTS is a very recent strong pattern for both. Screens goals, probably early ones.
Interesting contrast. What else in Norway?
Kongsvinger, 3rd versus Raufoss, 6th. Kongsvinger's last 11 matches, at least one team has scored 2+ goals. Shows volatility.
Right.
Raufoss, BTTS in their last 5 away games. That's 100% BTTS away.
Can't argue with 100%.
Exactly. Plus, 80% of Raufoss's goals come in the second half. Some neutral angles. Raufoss 100% of BTTS away is huge, and a strong pattern for second-half goals when Raufoss play.
Okay, got it.
Next, Lillestrøm versus Sogndal. Lillestrøm are flying, could go unbeaten. Shown resilience, too, coming from behind.
Strong team.
Very. The angle here, from their consistent aggressive starts, suggests Lillestrøm are solid 2-goal scorers before halftime. It's a pattern for them. Expect them to start fast and score early.
Right, powerful starts.
Then Moss, 11th, versus Egersund, 7th. Moss have a weird stat. All goals conceded have come in the second half.
All of them. Strange.
Yeah. Egersund, meanwhile, have had no 0-0 scorelines at halftime recently. Their games start with action.
So angled.
Points to no 0-0 at halftime for Egersund games. And for Moss, all goals conceded likely in the second half. Also, both teams score in 62% of their home games, so maybe goals at both ends, especially later on for Moss.
Okay. Complex one.
Now, odd 5th versus start. Second, one of the numbers are quiet. Odd unbeaten at home, but haven't played a top 6 team there. Start haven't played a top 5 team away.
Lack of comparable data.
Exactly. So no clear neutral angles. Can't force a pattern if the key data points aren't there. Important to recognize that too.
Good point. What about Skeid, 16th versus Ailson?
Skeid, struggling defensively. No clean sheets. BTTS in the last 7, conceded in the last 12, and 10 of 13 conceded goals are second half.
Ouch.
Ailson's only defeats are 2 recent away losses. Generally, they're solid. The main angle. Ailsons are generally tough to beat. Skeid's patterns point to conceding, probably late, and BTTS.
Okay. And last one in Norway.
Stabæk, 13th versus Ranheim, 10th. Stabæk's last 4 games, total goals of 4-4-4-6.
Goal fests.
Absolutely. Yeah. 67% of their goals are second half too, so neutral angles. Stabæk over 3.5 goals looks likely. No 0-0 is probable given the high scores. And a strong second half goal pattern for Stabæk.
Wow, Norway's delivered quite a mix. Where are we heading last?
Let's finish in Sweden Superettan. Always competitive.
Okay, Sweden, lay it on us.
Orgrait 2nd versus Helsingborg, 12th. Orgrait unbeaten at home, scoring 2+ in last 6, 100% home wins versus teams 8th or lower, and 7% of goals in the second half.
Strong home team.
Very. Helsingborg, only 1 loss in 7, but 7 of 8 goals conceded are second half. So angles, second half goals likely conceded by Helsingborg, no 0-0 likely given Orgreit's home form, and potential for overs if Orgrait hit their usual 2+ goals, especially late.
Okay, next.
Vesteres SK, 7th versus Landskrona, 5th. Vasteras, unbeaten at home, scored in all home games, but conceded 6 of 7 goals in the first half.
Vulnerable early.
Seems so. Landskrona scored 2+ in last 6 away, and 10 of 13 goals are second half.
So clash of timings.
Sort of. Strong neutral angles are both teams to score. Vasteras scored home, Landskrona score away, and definitely second half scoring. Is Landskrona strong then?
Got it. 2 more.
Yep. Sundsvall 6th versus Östersund 13th. Sundsvall in form, 3 wins, 3 clean sheets in the last 4. 80% of goals second half. Östersund struggling. 1 win in 7, struggled versus higher teams.
Angle seems pretty clear here.
Yeah, suggests Östersunds might struggle to score, especially second goal away. Points to Sundsvall controlling it, particularly late on.
Makes sense.
And the final one, Trelleborg, 14th versus Ottervold. Trelleborg unbeaten in 3 at home, some stability. But Ottervold, they are on fire.
Oh, yeah.
6 wins in 8, 4 straightaway wins, scored in their last 13 matches.
Yeah, impressive run.
The data really suggests Ottervold are much stronger than maybe the market thinks. Their form, scoring consistency, away wins.
Yeah.
It all points to them being a serious contender here.
Yeah.
Outro. So, yeah, we've covered a fair bit of ground there pretty quickly, but hopefully deeply.
Definitely.
Dissecting these matches, not just for, who might win, but for those statistical habits that create the neutral angles.
Yeah.
It really shows how looking closely at the numbers can reveal these fascinating potential outcomes where both teams' patterns kind of merge together, seeing that hidden statistical dance almost.
Absolutely. It's all about understanding that football, like loads of things, really. It's a game of patterns. And if you focus on these stats, see where both teams' traits align, whether it's late goals or both scoring or just loads of goals, you get a much richer, more, nuanced understanding of what might happen. It takes you beyond just the final score. You see the forces at play.
Which leads to a final thought, maybe, for you, the listener. How can you apply this kind of data-driven mindset, this way of looking past the obvious, the headlines,
right,
to uncover hidden chances or surprising insights in other parts of your life, business, finance, even just understanding the news, spotting those converging patterns, those neutral angles? It's a really powerful tool, isn't it, for making smarter calls?
Definitely something to think about. We hope this deep dive helps you look at the beautiful game and maybe other things too through that slightly sharper, more analytical lens the data gives us. Until next time, keep digging into the data.
Keep digging.